With a thunderous rumble, I have arrived to review another episode of Thunderbolt Fantasy. Welcome back! How you doing? Did you enjoy this episode? I did. Although it wasn't as good as last week, I will say it was a definite solid B. It gave a good amount of backstory, had some nice character building, and a few funny jokes. Okay, let's dive into the episode. Okay, if you remember last week, Shang is still avoiding Psycho Monk, who's after him because Psycho Monk thinks Shang has 7 blasphemous deaths, although he really doesn't. So, eventually, Psycho Monk half gives up and goes off to search somewhere else. So, Shang comes out of hiding and suddenly remembers about the bag that Lin gave him. Inside is a little statue of Lin that starts talking to him. And this statue is a Nendroid. Before seeing this episode, I did not want a Nandroid. I really found no need in having one. But yeah, now I want a Thunderbolt Fantasy Nandroid. But oh my god! They're about $50 each. And that's a bit too expensive for a figurine for me, but it's Thunderbolt Fantasy, and it looks really, really awesome. Maybe down the line I will, but I would rather spend $50 on Steam games. But it's Thunderbolt Fantasy! Orobuchi, why are you teasing my wallet? Anyway, Lin made this little statue for Shang so they'll be able to communicate. Now that Lin is over with the villains, I'm not too sure if it's like psychic communication or what? And the whole dialogue of Shang constantly mocking the statue is hilarious. And Lin's all like, oh, I made it look like myself so you wouldn't forget my face. That would be horrible. And Shang just shoving the Lindell back in the bag. Oh, that was just great. Hearing Lin just complain about, ooh, it's pretty cramped in this bag. Let me out, please. And Shang saying, I don't want to be seen carrying around a doll. Okay, we cut over to the odd shop with Juan. And I think I forgot to mention that Mi Ten Ming is blind. Yeah, since she's wearing a blindfold, in most Chinese movies, when a character is wearing a blindfold, that means they are physically blind. After a slight conversation between the two, Ji Jiang appears and notices that Juan has Ling Ya and invites him into the shop. I really enjoy that Ten Ming is back, even if it was just for a scene. And since they're bringing back characters from the movies, I wonder if there's a greater plan in play for them rather than just story building. Inside the shop, Gui Jiang gives Juan a healing potion and tells him, have your injured friend drink half now and half over the next 3 days, but only half now anymore, and it would be toxic. He manages to guess that Lang is the one who is injured. So Huan takes his leave, and Ten Ming and Gui Zhang start reminiscing about Shang and Lang. And oh my god, Ten Ming must now have some magic sixth sense blindfold vision because she knew Ling Ya was with Huan, and she also predicted that Lang was the one injured. But oh my god, the music during the odd shop scene. Oh my god, I loved that piano track. No, there were two. I loved both of them. Like, that just set the scene so perfectly. This series is so awesome with the writing, the action, the music. The music is amazing in this series. And if we didn't cut back to Huan at the end of the episode, I was kind of guessing that he should only drink half would have been a major plot point. But since the potion was half drunk by the end of the episode, yeah, I was kind of wrong there. Anyway, over to Seven Blasphemous Deaths and Xing Hai. I hope you love backstory because it's finally time to hear the story of Seven Blasphemous Deaths, and ooh boy, is it interesting. So 200 years ago, Dong Li and Yi Yao were once one kingdom known as Wan Yu. But due to the effects of the War of the Fading Dusk, the Wasteland of the Spirits split them down the middle into the countries that exist now. Although the Demon King retreated, several smaller, less powerful demons were constantly being slaughtered by holy weapons, and that pissed off Seven Blasphemous Deaths, or as she was known back then, Zhao Junlin. So, she has a plan. She disguises herself as a human and eventually works her way up to become the Emperor's mistress. As his mistress, she makes him do some dark shit, like telling him that virgin livers would make him immortal, and having people sing demon curses to children. Oh, eventually she's found out to be a demon, and she's killed with a certain sword. But luckily for her, she has a backup plan. If she would have ever been killed, the object tainted with her blood would be possessed by her spirit. So for 150 years, that sword was kept around, waiting for the perfect opportunity to awaken. 150 years later, long after people forgot about the demon known as Zhao Junlin, she decides to use her powers and begins to seduce any swordsman that decides to wield her. The amount of bloodshed is great, and yes, there is so much blood during the scene. It's kind of cool, but kind of not gross, but excessive. But then again, this is the Oral Butcher writing this, so hey, what do you expect? She eventually draws the attention of the sword plundering nemesis and his sword index that seals her away. And Xing Hai is all like, sword plundering nemesis? Who is that? And she says, oh, I believe people also refer to him as Shang Bu Huan. Oh my god. Necro Bitch is so upset by this. So now they all have a shared enemy of Shang. And now more than ever, Xing Hai wants the sword index for herself so she can cause chaos throughout the land. So, as I said a few minutes ago, Huan comes back to the cave and gives Lang the potion. He wakes up and gets mad that Shang didn't go, saying, are you going to hide from Tenming forever? And it seems that Shang is partially responsible for her being blind. Maybe? Oh, and we finally have a shot of Master Locust. And oh my god, he looks so badass. I can't wait to see him in action and to see what kind of a weapon he has, because it's bound to be Locust themed, but what is that? And according to the trailer, we might just see that next week. Oh my god, next week looks like it will be so good. So, come back next week for more Thunderbolt Fantasy with a single Brandon. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that basic YouTube stuff. And I will catch everybody then. Later.